I always sat next to the smartest girl in my class, and the teachers kept throwing me out because they said, "You're cheating." But I'd go to my rich dad, and he goes, "That's not cheating, that's cooperation." And so I have my poor dad who would have said I was cheating, and my rich dad said I was cooperating. They're two different points of view.
I am sure that after hearing the name of this book, you will be little bit confused about that. Can someone have two dads? And how can anyone become rich or poor by having a rich dad and a poor dad? But in reality, the author of this book had two dads. His rich dad used to tell him about the importance of money, and poor dad used to stop him for giving much importance to money. Robert Kiyosaki has shared these experiences in this book and told what mindset a person should have to become rich and how to use or invest your money, which I have to divided in 7 lessons. So let's go on the journey of becoming rich. Robert Kiyosaki has a father who was educated and a PhD holder, but he remained poor all his life and died in poverty. But Robert's other father, who was rich, was actually the father of Robert's friend Mike. He wanted Robert to take some challenges in his life because not all lessons are learned in a school alone. There are some lessons which a person learns only through his life experiences. So the first lesson is, rich do not work for money, money work for them. Let's begin this lesson with a small story about a man who has a donkey. When the man had to make his donkey work hard, he hung a carrot in front of the donkey. The donkey started working hard in the greed of eating it and hoped that one day he would reach that carrot. But the poor donkey never reached. Do you know why? Because this carrot was just an illusion, which became a good way for that person to make the donkey work. Robert Rich Dad explained that fear and greed control most people's lives. People work hard for not shortage of money, and then that money give rise to greed and desire in them, and then their greed and fear that they might become poor force them to earn more money. Rich Dad used to call it the rat race, and people are trapped in this race because of fear and greed. It is not that people like this race, but thoughts like study well, getting a good degree, and then do a good job. If you try something different, you will only fail. Ingrained in people's minds since childhood, keep them a part of this race. And it is true that you will never become poor by being a part of this race. Maybe you will be able to fulfill every need of life, but you will not be able to live a quality life. So the question comes, what to do? First, gather courage and get out of this rat race. Do something in which do you not work for money. Let the money work for you. And this is possible only when you have financial knowledge. So the second lesson is unfinancial knowledge. Robert tells that a meeting was held in Chicago in 1923. This meeting was attended by world leaders and extreme rich businessmen like his steel company owner Charles Schwab and Samuel Insull. After 25 years of this meeting, it was seen that many of these people died in poverty. Some has committed suicide and some has been lost their mental balance. Therefore, it is very important to learn financial knowledge. Financial literacy means understand the way money works. Many talented people are still stuck in the rat race because of this lack of knowledge. The difference between assets and liability sounds simple, but in reality people are unaware of their differences. If understood in simple words, an asset is that thing which put money in your pocket, and liability is that thing which takes money out of your pocket. People make this mistake by considering liability as assets like cars, house, luxury thing, but in reality these are liability because you have to pay their service and maintenance charges every month, due to which your pocket become lighter. Like if you have give your house on rent and you are getting income from it, only then will it call your assets. That's why Rich Dad say increase your assets and keep liability low. Only then will you be able to become rich. Investing in assets such as bond, gold and real estate, which will give you money, such as business in which your presence is not necessary but it is working and earn money for you. The third lesson is mind your own business. Robert says that rich people pay attention to their assets, while poor or middle class people make more attention to their income statement. McDonald's founder Ray Kroc gave a speech to an MBA class at the University of Texas. Meanwhile, during the conversation, Ray asked the student, "Do you know what profession I am in?" At first, the students start laughing, and then they reply, "You are in the business of selling hamburger." Hearing this answer, Ray start laughing and and said, I knew this would be your answer, but I am not in the hamburger business, but in real estate business. The franchises, land, and its location play an important role in the success of McDonald's. Who buy McDonald's franchises? He has to buy that land also. Today, McDonald's is the largest owner of real estate in the world. This is the lesson Rich Dad taught Robert about how people work for themselves. Rich Dad knew this secret. That's why he always used to say that you should concentrate completely on your work. If you are working, so learn all those skills in it which can help you in growing your skill. Therefore, get financial knowledge and start creating assets. The fourth lesson is history of taxes and the power of corporation. In this lesson, the author explained the history of tax. Tax was started to close the gap between rich and the poor. By imposing taxes on the rich, that money was spent for the welfare of poor. But later tax was imposed on the middle class also. But now, most of the taxes that going into the government account comes from the middle class people only. Rich people avoid paying taxes through their intelligence and cleverness, because rich first earn, then spend, and if anything is left, then tax is paid. But middle class and upper middle class people earn first, then pay tax, and then spend whatever is left. The fifth lesson is the rich invent money. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone and later patented it. Because Graham Bell was facing a lot of difficulty in handling such a big business, therefore Graham Bell offered to sell his patent and a small company for $1 lakh from the famous company of that time, Western Union. But the president of Western Union laughed at him and rejected their proposal. Rest of the history is witness that after this, a multi-billionaire dollar company, American Telephone and Telegraph Company, was born. That's what Robert wanted to convey with this story. What a small wrong decision by the president of Western Union stopped him for becoming the owner of multi-billionaire company. The author says that it is not the smart person who move the world forward, but the courageous people. To take any decision, both knowledge and courage are required. Most people do not want to take any risk in the money matter, but if you want to become rich, you will have to take risks. So the sixth lesson is work to learn. Do not work for money. Once Robert was given an interview in Singapore. After that interview, the journalist told Robert that she wanted to become a famous writer like him. Robert had also read one or two of her articles, due to which he was quite impressed. She said that people like her book, but it is not selling much. Robert suggested her to do course in sales management. Hearing this, she became quite enraged. Robert says that this world is full of smart, educated and talented people. We meet such people every day, but the point is that your talent alone is not enough to earn money. Rather, how to capitalize on that talent. Unless you know this, until then, your talent is useless. One of the biggest difference between rich and poor dad was this. Poor dad was always worried about the job, because a safe job was everything for him. Whereas rich dad insisted only on learning, because to become rich, you have to learn a lot. The seventh lesson is cross the hurdle of life. Robert says that even after understanding money, you will still face many obstacles in the path of achieving financial freedom. There are 5 main reasons due to which every money-savvy people are not able to increase their wealth column much. The first is to overcome your fear. The second is to overcome your disappointment. The third is to overcome your laziness. Fourth is to protect yourself from bad habits. And fifth is to overcome your ego. So these are the 7 lessons of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, which make Robert a great writer and a very rich man. So if you want to become rich, then you can follow this 7 lesson of the Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Thank you and best of luck.